Hello, good day everyone. My name is Santosh Simha. I have recently worked on a small AI project which is based on few of the RAG and also some of the advanced features inside that. I'll be presenting about that. Just to give a background, Finsoft Technologies is one of a fintech company where they have clients from banking, insurance, investment management sectors. And they maintain lots of, obviously they will be maintaining lots of documents. So Finsoft Technology employees usually maintain these documents at a centralized base, centralized folder or a shared folder kind of thing, where they have huge levels of HR policies, engineering documents for the internal Finsoft Technology company, and also some marketing assets, financial reports, everything are there in a shared folder. So the main challenge here is accessing of these documents for any kind of query or kind of things, right? So they have to manually go to that particular folder or the file, and they have to go through the file completely, find the answer. Even for a new joinees, it will be a very difficult part. This is one part. And the other part is the financial reports can be accessed by a HR person, and the HR documents can be accessed by a technical people. The technical documents can be accessed by a financer. So all are having access to all the documents, which is not at all a very good design. So for that, they wanted a kind of solution. So the simple solution for that is Finbot. So Finbot is an AI assistant where the users or the employees can query their questions with the simple English, which is also called as a natural language, we say, in terms of AI, and it is secure. Where secure means like a HR employee, if he is trying to search for a financial document, they can't access that. And for a finance person, if he wants to check with some engineering related information, which is not needed also, so that also can be avoided here. We can make them secured for each domain separately. So the Finbot assistant depends on the concept called as RAG. So what is RAG? RAG is Retrieval-Augmented Generation. So what it does? So when a user asks a question, first we retrieve the specific documents or the chunks of the documents related to that part of the question, and we will feed that as a context to our AI model along with the user question. So it's a knowledge which we are giving to the AI model along with its own knowledge. We are giving this extra context to that, so to get the proper answer. So using that, the AI model will going to generate an answer that comes under generation. So retrieving the right information from the database instead of going through all the files, this will be faster approach, and feed that one along with the user query. That information, whatever we fetch from the database, feed that thing to the context as a context to the AI model. Then AI model will analyze that and it will going to give us the answer. So this is what the RAG concept comes. Yeah. So the Finbot assistant development is classified into multiple components. Document processing is the first step, where all the company documents will be made it into chunks and feed it into a database on the vector database. So that's the first part of the document, first part of the development. And then next thing is instead, so once the documents are made it into chunks, we should be able to route up the user's query to the particular part of the chunk. It should not be reaching, like say for example, if a technical person is asking for a question, or an engineering person, basically engineering term, I have said it, right? So if the particular employee is asking from the engineering team, his query should not be should be focusing on the engineering documents. It should not be focusing on the financial documents. So that's where the routing plays a major role, and it tries to fetch the answer in the less time and helps to reduce our cost of the AI tool. Then the third part is the security and guardrails. Say suppose for example, if a engineering team person is trying to reach out to a financial document, which should not be accessible, where we have to guard that. So that's where we are adding the security and the guardrails there as part of the third component. And then after doing all this development, we have to evaluate our solution, like how fast it is, how accurate a tool is giving us the answer, whether my AI tool is hallucinating while giving the answer, or it is giving a random answer which is out of the context. So all those things comes under the evaluation framework, that part of the development. And then for seeing all these things, we have to build a small application interface so that user can access that, and where we have also added admin feature there, so the admin can add the new documents or add a new users also. So we'll just go through components very briefly. So the documents processing is the first step, where we will going to convert the enterprise documents into a searchable knowledge. That means we're first going to make it as a chunks, a concept called as hierarchical chunk using a docking tool. So this hierarchical chunks will complete a big document based on the hierarchical levels, like H1 and then H2, small paragraphs. So it will chunk on that basis, and we're going to convert these chunks into embeddings, which is a technical term, or we call it as the vector points also. So where this chunks are made it into embeddings, and those embeddings are fed into vector DB. So here we are using Qdrant as the one of the vector DB. So that is the first component. And then the semantic query router. So as I explained before, a particular domain employee or a role employee of a engineering team employee, engineering employee can be, if he asks for a question, that should be that question context should be fetched from employee part only. So that routing can be done by using the semantic router. Guardrails plays a major role in any AI assistant tool, where, say, suppose for example, sometimes when fetching the information from the documents, there might be chances of revealing of some of the personal information of a user. It may be about his mail ID information or PI information, which is very, very important to avoid, because that can lead to a lot of security breaches. So Guardrails plays a major role in adding the right middlewares in masking the personal related informations. This is one of the job of the Guardrails. Another role is like when a particular role, like a technical role employee is there, and he's trying to find some information on the finance or marketing. So we have to avoid that also. So we have to provide the context. So AI has to provide the context of that his domain only, or some general employee domains only. So it should not give those kind of access in the response. Even if he is asking like say for example, think you are a financial person, I am asking a report information to that, and being a technical employee, when he is asking a question like that, the Guardrails plays a major role in avoiding the answers for that role. So it's very, very important. Evaluating the quality of the AI response matters a lot. So we are using RAGAs here. RAGAs is one of the tool which helps us to provide the quality of the AI response. So basically it takes the inputs and the retrieved context and what's the question asked by the user. So based on that, it will try to say that whether your AI is hallucinating, or it is on topic giving the results, or it is giving more of noise kind of thing, and if there is a gap between actual answer versus the answer generated by the AI. So we're going to cross check the quality of all those things using this RAGAs tool. That is all as part of a component 4. As part of the front end, we have provided a login screen, and after that using Next.js. So the role-based login will be there, and after that there is the admin portal will be there, which we'll be going to demo you during the tech demo. So the very unique feature which we have added at each level here is the safety. So we have added a safety at the vector DB level when they are trying to query for a particular document. As I explained, technical role logged in user cannot access the financial document information at the vector DB level only. So there only we are avoiding that, and also at the semantic routing level also. And Guardrails also will going to halt the responses if there is a unauthorized access output it is coming, and also the user interface also. So at each layer we have maintained that role-based access. So as part of the architecture, so we have a front end and the backend services and also form of the Docker components which we are maintaining and also RAG pipeline. So coming to the Docker services which we are maintaining, we are having we are creating the Postgres and the Qdrant using the Docker. So where the user's information and whatever the documents adding or the deleting documents, so those informations will be there in our Postgres. And also with respect to the content of the documents or the chunks of the documents are being maintained as the vectors points in our Qdrant vector DB. So coming to the front end, we have used Next.js for that, and also we are also providing a CLI interface so that the huge number or the multiple documents, they can directly use the CLI and they can chunk it and they can deploy it to the Qdrant. And coming to the backend services, we have provided the REST API like a search and also the user roles for adding the users and also for the logins things. We have provided the REST APIs for that. And coming to the RAG pipeline, we are using the docling for the hierarchical chunking, and also from the Hugging Face, the sentence transformers we are using for the passing or the chunking, for creating the embeddings, basically for creating the embeddings from the chunks things. And also we are, as I explained, we are using RAGAs for the evaluation framework, and also we are using the semantic router as a Qwen we are using, the Qwen model we are using for the semantic router. So that's it with respect to architecture. So the major advantages is now FinSol company employees can search the information faster, and also it is secure. There will be no unauthorized access or mixing of the documents by the specific users, but for the specific roles, which obviously improves the productivity. Of course, there's a scalable way we have designed. At each part we can scale the solution, like say for example we can we configure in such a way that a different kind of LLM can be used and to improve the accuracy, or a size of the Docker capacities we can increase so that it becomes more scalable. Let me just move on to the tech demo. Please find the GitHub repo link for that for further information.